Hello, hello, JJ DiGeronimo here. I'm so excited about this topic. As you know, many of you, I love light workers, healers, mystics, and I definitely love magic. So, Elizabeth Webb is with us today, and she has an amazing new book about magic, and she
Mhm.
follows so much about. Well, she's a practical priestess, which I love, and she is an expert in positive psychology. So, Elizabeth, thank you so much for joining us.
I am so excited to be here.
I just love this topic. So, I
Mhm.
guess what does magic mean to you? Because this is very intriguing to me.
Well, magic means a lot of different things to me. But for the sake of this conversation and what's happening in the world and what I feel like most women are facing, magic is access to the part of life that is beyond the data, that is beyond the problems, where you really tap into infinite possibility and the fact that you are infinite as well as a being. Because we all know right now, especially, but always, we're kind of living in this world of problems, right? The brutal reality of being alive. Life is beautiful, but it's also quite brutal at times. And believing in magic in practical, accessible ways really keeps our life force flowing. So that's really what this book is about. And that's what a lot of my work and my message is about as well.
I love that. I love that. I'm such a big believer in frequency, energy, vibration, and I've really had to turn so much off. What I used to watch 3 years ago is not what I'm watching. I mean, I'm finishing a book, so I really try to get myself in the mindset of the content, and I really try to keep things that are not high vibe, not in my sphere. But for people who are starting this and don't really know what you mean, like, how do they even
Mhm.
start being magical or tapping into the magic?
Well, the way that this works is we first have to really address what's not working. And then that provides more life force and energy and spaciousness for even having this conversation. So I understand we want to talk about magic. We want to feel alive and flowing and in touch with miracles. And also, if we are in a state of slow, constant torture, it just doesn't go like that. Like, that's not how life works. So, the way that I've structured this book, there it is. There she is. The way that I've structured this book and the way that I structure the way I live my life and I teach women to live is go for the basics first that don't feel so magical. So, whatever's taking you out of your magic, I would say go there first. And these are the things that we don't really want to address, yet it will drain our life force and make feeling magical, sparkly, alive, full of joie de vivre, all of this, it's going to make that feel inaccessible. So I would go first for what's draining your life force and take a really intense, uncomfortable look at those things and handle those things one by one while simultaneously adding things to your life that create more force for you, which is different for every woman.
It is, and I've had to do this specifically. I mean, I would walk around with a piece of paper, and every time I started it, I had a yes, no column. Like, yes, do I enjoy this? No, do I not enjoy this?
That's I love that language because it's so simple and everyone understands like enjoy, don't enjoy. And that's perfect. Like we need to keep things simple. Also, too, I will add, does this give me energy? Is this energy giving or is this energy draining? Is this life giving or is this life draining? And when I do this audit with my people or with myself, which I do this work all the time myself, I have to readjust and recalibrate because life is crazy, you know? So something will come my way and I'll say, okay, is this life draining or is this life giving? Okay, this is life draining. Is it absolutely necessary for me to do this? Yes or no? If yes, then the question then becomes, how do I make it less draining? How do I have this impact me less? What parts of these things can I delegate? How do I reduce this? Like something that maybe somebody needs an appointment with you and it's going to be an hour. And I'm not talking about a client. I'm talking about maybe they're selling you something or somebody you're working with or whatever, and they want an hour. Can you make it 30 minutes? Can you make it 40 minutes? Can you take that time back and really be just cutthroat on your own behalf?
I
I
love this.
really
And I think it's great because a lot of people don't know how to be selfish and they feel like, oh gosh, I can't do that. But at
yes,
what
you can.
cost? Yes, yes, you
You
can.
can. Yes, you can. Oh
Yes.
man, I've been going through something in my life right now with my family where my responsibilities have just I just launched a book, right? So already things were double. And then simultaneously this family situation dropped into my lap and there's really no getting around it. There's no delegating, there's no, oh, do that in 6 months. Like it's here and it's full on and taking up a lot of my bandwidth. And being that busy has in moments I've felt like a hypocrite, right? Because I just wrote this amazing book about saying no and reclaiming your time. And I'm like, whoa, my time has just gotten hijacked. However, where I've really become selfish, cutthroat on my own behalf, is when you're that limited on time. Well, I'll say for me, when I'm this limited on time, I'm cutthroat about time. Like yesterday, I filmed a podcast with a lovely gentleman, but he was slow to start. He was wanting to chat. I could tell this was going to be quite a perhaps a long experience. And I said, I have a hard stop at this time. He was like, oh, okay, we need to get going then. And I was like, yes. So, and I felt it's these moments where you might even feel a little bitchy. You might feel like, "Oh, I don't know if they're going to like me if I say that." For me, if you just sugarcoat it a touch, but there's still the hard stop, or I have 15 minutes for this, or I know we said we were going to do an hour, but I only have 40 minutes actually. I have to be somewhere else at this time. I don't care where this somewhere else is. You could be going hug a tree. You could go skip down the street. You could get your nails done. You don't have to have a real reason that's another appointment. Booking spaciousness for ourselves is so key.
I think these are amazing tips because people, no matter what the walk of life is, we often get pulled into things that are not ours to be pulled into. Or if we've agreed to do something, people can be pretty laissez-faire with the time it takes. And I feel like if you want to be magical, you have to really lean into your energy, your high frequency, and you can't spend your day doing things that drain you.
Yes. So it's almost like I wrote a book about magic, and so much of the magic is saying no to the things that aren't in service to your mission, your energy, your purpose, your joy, because people will sign you up for stuff that's in service to them all day long. All day long. All we're getting is requests, requests, requests of our energy, our time, our money, our life force. Like what if 90% of that got to be a no? And with that spaciousness, you can be like, what do I want? Let's get rid of most of this noise and start asking this person with that bandwidth and that spaciousness, what do I want? And create enough wiggle room that you can actually even hear yourself.
So beautiful. I love these, especially as we're starting the new year. There's so many things we've done for so long. Like, do we still need to do that? And if we have been cleaning out. I've been doing a 30-day clean out Feng Shui
Mm,
with Denise Lin. She's a spiritual teacher. And each day I
fabulous.
do a video and I clean something in my house while I'm listening to the video. And it talks about all these Feng Shui things. So it's been sort of, I'm not a huge domestic person, but I spend a lot of time doing domestic things. And I started this year saying, okay, I'm going to give myself 1 hour a day, do as much as I can, and then I'm going to get back to my desk. And that's been really helpful, is like listening to something for me and moving my hands, because I let energy flow through me. And so for those of you that are listening, that have done the clean out, right? They're only focused on things they really like doing. How do they turn up the magic in their
Mm.
life? So they're listening, but what are they doing? How do you see in your book? How do you see that unfolding?
Oh, absolutely. So this is where things get more fun. Amplifying the joy, amplifying the intuition, tapping into the mystical parts of life once things are actually a bit more spacious, more cleansed, as you mentioned. So, I have many power practices, what I call power practices in the book, and a few of them. So, the second half of the book is really about turning up the volume on these fun, joyful, pleasurable, mystical qualities of life. And I would first go to fun. Fun is a core value. And I feel like adulting for some people starts to look extremely serious, right? So it's like we're doing responsibilities, we're checking things off the list, and then we go hardcore resting and replenishing or maybe blobbing, with the binging the Netflix or doom scrolling, which isn't really fun. Fun has an energy of aliveness that we had when we were children. It came so naturally, like playing. Playing has no purpose, right? Except that we're enjoying it. So finding these things that put you in flow state where you get to have this childlike wonder about life again, lose track of time. What are those for you? And then once you determine what they are, this might look like experimentation. It might look like some women I think would be like, I don't even know. I go to Pilates, but is that really fun? Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Oh, do you wanna join a choir? Do you want to learn a new style of dance? Do you wanna go to comedy shows, or do you wanna even try an improv class? Is this like, what gives you that tickle of childlike wonder? And then actually prioritizing those things in your calendar, so it is far beyond an idea, it's actually a commitment that you hold sacred with your time. So I
I
would
think
first go to fun as a core value.
Well, I think fun is great. I do know people, sometimes myself, that I don't sometimes I'm like, "Is this fun? I don't know. Do I have any fun built in this week on my schedule?" So I think that's really important to just think like, what is fun for me and do I build it into my schedule? And do I have one thing on the calendar for me that is truly fun? And I
Mhm.
would say this week I do not. I just came back, I mean, starting Monday to Sunday. Right now I do not have anything right now. But after this, I'm going to reach out to a couple friends that I want to get together with and see if I can get that on the calendar, because I don't want to lose the opportunity of waiting too long to get that built in.
Totally. And I would also say, even for you to be in the research project of what is fun for you.
Mm.
And the fun is it's a different frequency than like soul food that you might get with some girlfriends. Like it might be a nourishing experience, but that friend that you probably have that every time you get together, you're laughing and it feels childlike. And together, you guys are more playful. That would be in the category of fun. Not every girlfriend is like women that I absolutely love. They're not all fun. Some of them are going through hell right now. Some of them, we always go really deep and spiritual, and that's fulfilling, but it's not this upper tier of tickle that we had as children where it's just like, "Oh," and that is a frequency that's forgotten in adulthood often. Like we're just like, okay, I want to relax. I want peace of mind. Yes to that. And also what brings you alive. That brings you closer to the frequency of miracles and magic. The lightness of being.
Yeah, I want to dive into that. So I just
Mhm.
want the listeners to think about for themselves what is on your calendar this week that's fun. Who
It's
are your
actually
few
fun.
Yeah, fun. Who are your few fun friends and are they on your calendar? And are you a fun friend? I mean, are you a fun friend? I have some people that, you when you talk to them, it's like every time we got to get through the doom and gloom before we get to the fun. And so think about your fun factor if others were rating you.
Damn, that might be really triggering for some people. You might not be the fun friend. If you're not the fun friend, that's okay. Um, you can still have fun experiences and tap into that frequency of lightness of being and get more used to how that feels and commit to that for yourself and for the people around you. Some people have learned to bond with others through complaining, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting to be that person. It's exhausting to experience that from someone else. I have, at moments in my life, been that person,
Yes,
and
me
it's an energy suck. It's terrible. So you don't have to do adulting like that. You don't.
I love that. And I feel like I said that because it's a huge reminder to me too. I like to get, I have my son in my eighth house. I like to get right into the deep and heavy all the time, but I really could use some more fun. And in 2026, one of my own personal mottos is like, we're going to have more fun. We've been doing a lot of heavy lifting and it's time to just
Yeah.
laugh more, roll in the snow. Like you've seen me this week, I've been out with my dog and there's a ton of snow here, just running up and down the street because it's fun. Watching the dog run and be in the snow is so fun. So I love that.
So, JJ, I have a hack on this, and that is if you're finding yourself in a heavy place where you're bonding through sharing your problems and telling people every dirty detail of like all of the trauma, all of the situation, all the tea, and that's how you're doing friendship or relationship right now. A hack around that would be to create a get together where there's actually not talking. So go take a dance class together or go listen to music together, like jazz or something like that on the front end, and then catch up after. So there's a chance to experience this flow state and, new experience and bond through an experience and break out of that cycle.
I love that. I'm going to have to type that. Bond through the experience. Bond through the experience. And I think that is amazing. So we have a few more minutes, but I definitely wanted to tap into illumination. I love that word, and I feel like we're going down this path, and we're kind of pointing to that. What does that mean for people, and how would you say is a tip or a strategy or even a knowing associated with that?
With illumination, I would love to hear what illumination means for you, just so I'm answering the question the way that you'd like it.
I love that. And I probably jumped in. I use the word illumination, but when we finished the last session, you talked about sort of the last stage or the next stage after you're having fun, after you've
Mhm.
cleaned out the energy, like how does this evolve for people where, oh, intuition and magic, like how does that really come
Okay, yeah, we
to
did speak
fruition?
about intuition.
Yes.
I love that. So, tapping into our intuition is such a beautiful skill set, and the first step, I'm going back to this again and again because I want you to remember it when this interview's over, is emptiness. So turning off the noise for periods of time. And this is a huge request in this particular phase of time, to turn off, I would say, even in the beginning, music that has words or messages that aren't your own, to turn off social media, to turn off all notifications, and sit with yourself, perhaps one hand on the heart and one hand on the womb, and breathe and say to yourself, okay, brain and analytical thoughts, I'm asking you to take a rest. I'm listening to my soul at this time. And you can visualize that like a ball of white light radiating out of your chest. And just take a moment to be with the part of yourself that's infinite. And actually accessing that might take a few times. You might be like, I don't feel anything. Well, you've numbed her. She's not used to you talking to her. So, inviting her back online and to be in conversation with you, say, okay, soul, infinite part of me, I'm here, I'm listening. What do you have to say? What reflections do you have about my life right now? What is it that you're yearning for? What am I missing? And really go there with the soul, your own soul, and create the spaciousness and the sacred time, even if it's 2 or 3 minutes with no noise, to hear the real you. And this is the beginning of waking up the divine intuition that exists within all of us.
How delicious. I really love this. I've been sitting at my desk. I put on this special necklace that I got from my Jamaica
Let me
retreat,
see.
and it is
Ooh, is that a
stunning.
rose? Is that a rose quartz or a
It
regular?
is.
It's a rose quartz.
Yes. And I put it on my neck, and that's just the time I'm going
Ooh.
to be with myself and my soul and just have the quiet time. It could be 2 minutes, it could be 20 minutes.
Mhm.
It's different than my meditation time. It's time I'm just really being open for the messages.
I love that. I love that.
Mm. Well, this has been so great, Elizabeth. I have loved learning more about your new book, and kind of tell us, what are you doing in 2026 with the book and with your work and with your links below? What can we tap into that you're working on?
Oh, thank you for asking. So, I gotta tell you, this book has saved my own ass while writing it. And then even now, as I'm going through this brutal moment with being overextended with my family while I'm also on podcast tour, I will reopen this book and be like, I need to remember the magic. I'm too in the doing and in the brutal noise of life. Wake up, Elizabeth. And I will open this book and go to this. So, my recommendation is for you to get this book. You can see if it's for you by going to madeformagicbook.com. And the first chapter is for free. So you can put in your email, I'll send you the first chapter and you can see, like, is this my cup of tea? Like, do I connect with her voice? Is this going to really talk to me? And you'll be able to try it out. Or you can just go right to Amazon and get it there. But I really recommend this book because I wrote it from my soul to your soul. And it will wake you up and give you so many strategies to stay awake and alive and fun while living this life of ours, right? So, yes to the book. I'm on all kinds of podcasts right now, including your beautiful podcast. I'm sharing light that way. And I also have many free resources. So, the links are below, right? So, I've got free resources. I've got all of these articles that I send out to my email list that's just tools to live life's personal stories, along with, like, what do we do? How do we activate our magic? How do we reclaim our time? What do we actually say? How do we navigate relationships? So this is the work that I'm doing right now, and I so appreciate being able to share it with you right now.
Well, we are so glad you're here. Thank you for joining the Together We Seek podcast. And thank you for everyone taking the time to listen. We hope you check out Elizabeth Webb book, Made for Magic. And we look forward to seeing you here again next time. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. See you later.